And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Guys, we just had an epic pre-chat chat. I really wish we would have had it live. We talked about anything and everything, but unfortunately, we're not going to have a recap, so we're going to go and get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Caliber Corner, Season 4, podcast number 204. I just want to clarify something. We're in the first third of Season 4 right now. It was like back in May or June when we had the first season of Caliber Corner, so we're not all the way through 4 seasons of Caliber Corner, but we're into 4 seasons of Caliber Corner. So I just want to clarify that. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How's it going? Whew, it's Saturday. It's beautiful. It's 8 a.m. I'm not totally awake today, believe it or not. So I'm going to be working on a couple of cups of coffee this morning, but we've got a panel that's with us. And today we're going to talk about flashlights. I don't know if we've ever had a flashlight chat. And I promise you, I'm not going to make this centered around Olight. I test a lot of different brands of flashlights on the channel. A lot of them have been testers. I've had good luck with some of them. I've had bad luck with some of them. I'm probably one of the few people that's actually broken an Olight and left it on camera and put the video out, just so you know. So anyway, we got some people out here joining us over on the YouTube side, and I think we will go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves. Squib, you still with us? You want to say a little something before we start?
Yeah, got some crazy teenager high school football stuff going on this morning, so I won't be able to join you for the show, but I will take that Olight you gave me to the game so that I'm with you in spirit.
There you go, that EDC. Yep.
Yeah, otherwise, flashlights are no laughing matter. For the longest time, my EDC was the flashlight on my cell phone, but as my eyes got older, I realized that carrying an EDC flashlight, especially in my line of work at a factory, but really I carry one everywhere. Just like the knife, I didn't hardly ever carry a knife everywhere, and now I'm liable to carry 2 or 3 pocket knives everywhere. The whole EDC thing, it's a choice what you carry, where you carry, when you carry, but sometimes when you get used to that and then you find something useful, you realize it's probably a good idea to take it with you, or have a flashlight in the car, in the toolbox, wherever. So should be a good show, and unfortunately, I got to miss it.
One thing real quick I'm going to tell you, and I do want to ruin the surprise. I am going to be doing an Olight video this week because they're releasing 3 models on sale. And I have the rechargeable version of the one I gave you. And so I will be sending you this one so you don't have to worry about the batteries. Wasn't battery life an issue with your flashlight? That's something we need to
So the CR123 that goes in it is kind of pricey. I was buying 4 packs of Streamlight batteries and then 8 packs of Energizer batteries. And I found out they have them at Sam's. So it's buying 18 packs. So I want to say it's about $40 for 18 batteries, 36 sometimes, something like that.
Amazon, because Amazon sells bulk packs of them too. I don't know how good the Amazon brand is.
I'm kind of the Streamlight battery and the Energizer is made in America, so I get that. Chinese flashlight, American battery, whatever.
Well, I think some Streamlights are maybe USA made or assembled in the USA, but that's, I don't I don't want to make the whole show a China USA manufacturing discussion because there's so much stuff that's not USA made, unfortunately, but there is a lot that is.
I probably would have never bought an Olight. I would have just spent the extra money on a Streamlight or something like that. But you got me this one, and this thing is just taking a beating and keeps on going. And I'm like, okay, it's a good. I would definitely recommend this as a gift. So to mess with a rechargeable one, I kind of want to take it to the factory and put it through its paces.
I think it's a taillight snap-on charger style, or it's got the bracket. I don't know if or maybe take the battery out and the battery plugs in directly and recharges. I've got a few that'll show off that do that, and so that's nice. And I don't know, how battery life is going to compare. You'd have to look at the boxes and see how the alkaline or lithium ion, whatever the hell it is, compares to the rechargeables. So.
One thing for sure is that it's bright enough that it really handles a lot of things. Now, I haven't been carrying it with me since Father's Day because I got an inexpensive flashlight that uses AAAs for Father's Day, and I've been carrying that to work, and it's saved me money on batteries, and it's been bright enough. However, the Olight, you don't even have to ask, is it bright enough? Yes, it is.
Yeah, the lumens on that, I would probably say that you get what they advertise, which is another point I want to bring up too when it comes to cheaper flashlights. It's like, really?
And the
lumen test those LEDs, or did they just say 1200 lumens because it's a 1200 lumen LED, does it really perform at 1200 lumens out the lens?
Yeah, this little Olight here too has got the clip, so I can clip it in my upper pocket, and it's easy to get to when I'm working on machines. The other flashlight, I had to drag out my old Condor flashlight holster and put that on my belt, which isn't a big deal. I'm not trying to complain about the other one. I chose to save some money by taking that. Plus, like I said, I got it for Father's Day. I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, just throw it here, whatever. But if you've got an extra there and you want me to try it out, I'll see how well it does in a factory environment. This one's held up really well, and I do appreciate it. And Olight, it's less expensive, and that might draw some people in. But despite the fact that you broke one on camera, this one has just it's survived a lot of stuff. So I'm really impressed. But I'd like to try out a Streamlight at some point.
Real quick to answer Loopy's question, and then Single Shot will come over to you. Luke, I only had 4 options, and so I'm going to take the poll down in a few seconds. I just put that up at the beginning, but yeah, Surefire is an awesome brand too. So I'll probably end the poll here in just a little bit. Nothing again. I just put those 4 up. I just came up with 4 that people might recognize, but yeah, fantastic brand too. I'm not hating on any one particular brand. In fact, I don't own a Surefire, but I know that they are good. I've looked at them before and have looked at different models. But let's go ahead and let Single Shot introduce himself. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and go. So,
okay, cool.
Bye, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, give me back my flashlight. All right, have fun. Have a good day, man. All right, so Single Shot, you're in the house. What's going on, brother? How's it going? There he is. There you go. Back. There you go. What's up, man? How you doing? You good? You good?
All right. Yeah, I had to go get coffee and something to eat here.
All right. So how's your morning going, man? You good?
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay. Any thoughts before we get into the chat on flashlights? You got a preference? You got something you do buy, you don't buy? What's up?
I do. I've used several El Cheapos. And now I've gotten into these Olights. And
it can be habit forming because they've got the different colors and the special editions, and now they've kind of got a standardized charging setup that they have with the little magnet that snaps on the back. And again, I've got various brands of flashlights in front of me. I'm not going to make this an Olight chat. I'm not here to sell flashlights. In fact, Olight videos get probably the least amount of views on the videos that I release, and I'm lucky if my videos will generate like 2 or 3 sales out of like 350 views. So I'm not an Olight pusher. In fact, Olight will contact me maybe once every 3 months and say, hey, you want to do a video on this? Although I feel like I do good flashlight videos. I review the heck out of them. I mean, we put them through the gamut. We dunk test them. We do discharge measurements on them. You know, we drop them. We take them outside in the dark, show them in various kinds of terrain. If they're weapon mounted, I'll burn like 100 rounds of ammo, seeing if the light will actually hold up. So I like to think I offer a quality flashlight review. I know people get tired of flashlight reviews. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Just if you see like Olight videos popping up, just watch mine. Don't watch the competition. I make the best ones. So, and I don't care if you buy from me or not. Go buy from whoever you want, but watch my videos instead because I'm really going to give you a a good, honest impression of what the flashlight is like. So, anyway, with that being said, let's give a little shout out to the YouTube side. It's a little slow this morning. Looks like we've got maybe some people just waking up, and it's early, and it's Saturday, and it's a beautiful pre-fall day, I guess you could say. I know there's a lot of games on today. People are going to be watching. I'm getting ready for the funeral after the Nebraska-Oklahoma game. Moment of silence. Okay. So anyway, Luke B's with us. X Adam 1 is here today. Irish wrist watchers out there. M Gabriel's in the house, and Kingpin. Also, today's episode is sponsored by SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. Make sure you guys check out SS Pawn. It is a very cool pawn shop. You take the exit to Lexington, Nebraska. SS Pawn is just off to the right-hand side. I forgot I've got all kinds of cool little banners here, don't I? So we'll put some banners up for you. But do check out SS Pawn. Stop in there, say hello to Stan, buy a gun, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. And also, if you are interested, I've got this cool little display behind me. Okay, this was given to me as a tester, but I don't have any kind of deal with rnldisplays.com. But go to rnldisplays.com, and you can check out the more refined manner to display your AR-15, and it does come with a wall mount also that uses the little wooden magazine, and you can use that to mount it on the wall if you want to. Single Shot, do you have one of these yet or not? Do you have an RNLDisplays.com?
Not yet, but I've got to get a hold.
Display? No? Okay.
I got to get a hold of Rob there and get one of those ordered. I like to have one for the AR. I'll have it out when I'm home, but it goes back in the safe when I'm gone.
Oh man, we've already got some football stuff going on out there. Luke B says Boomer Sooner alma mater. You know, personally, I have nothing against, Oklahoma. It's just a big rivalry for Nebraska football. And I do like to go to Eskimo Joe's, by the way. I know that's not OSU. That's University of Oklahoma, right? Is that right? So anyway, I've been there a couple times and stopped in there and had a good meal. Anywho, so let's just get into the discussion here. Let's talk about flashlights and something that I want to ask, and Single Shot, maybe you can answer this question. This is something to think about. And by the way, those of you that are out watching today, let me know your favorite brands and models of flashlights. Maybe we can look it up and talk about them and check them out. X Adam 1 has already mentioned the Phoenix UC35. I get a lot of recommendations for that brand on my videos. The Phoenix brand, I've seen it at Shields. They carry a bunch of different brands of flashlights, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Luke B, back in the 90s, Nebraska absolutely demolished my Sooners multiple times. Yeah, it always comes back and bites you in the end. That's what we're experiencing for the last 20 years. But anyway, the question is, Single Shot, does cost equal performance, or are we just overpaying? That's a big question I want to ask today when it comes to flashlights. Does cost equal performance?
Well, I do. I believe so. And the company that I'm working with right now, they do have a very good guarantee, and I've had no trouble there. I had one of the lights mess up that I had, and they fixed it for me, and didn't charge me at all for it. So
okay.
And being out here in this industry, you need a good light, especially at night. It has to be dependable, and it takes a heck of a lot of serious abuse. So we're not easy on flashlights out here.
Yeah. Well, you got the cold weather, you got the you got the salt from the coast, you've got the brutal conditions. So, oh man. So yeah. So here's the funny thing is aluminum is aluminum. Okay, this isn't even no light. This is just a night provision. This is a $23 flashlight. Powder coat is powder coat. I think one of the big things where you see, kind of that difference in the quality is going to be in the switch gear. Because I've got, this is these are you can get these 5 for $10 on Amazon. This is a Ultrafire UK68. These are super cheap. And the button on it is very sensitive. So even though you have it on, if you even remotely just touch the button, it flickers. And if it flexes, it flickers and stuff. So there is some, some distinct advantages. I do agree with you. When you go with a higher quality brand, I think that there's definitely going to be, the hardware that comes along with it, the overall fit and finish, the switch gear, in my opinion, is going to be better on a more expensive flashlight. And also the other thing too, I want to talk about is warranties, because you might buy a flashlight and who knows what their warranty service is going to be like. They might not even have a USA office. Or if they do, for what it's going to cost you to send this in, however they want you to send it and pay return postage, it's more than the cost of the flashlight. So I think that's something you need to think about when you buy these. Unless you just want a beater that's going to be an El Cheapo that you can afford to drop or lose, then that's fine. But I will say this. I mean, there is something that can be gained from having a high quality flashlight that has a very good output of light or a high quality beam that it puts out. Because I've had some this thing is fine, but this is really good. And I have some that are even better. Okay. I really noticed it with tactical lights now too. That's something I've seen, that there's big differences, with your weapons mounted lights. Do you got a flashlight there you can show us? Single shot? Oh, there you go. Okay. So what is that? Is that your Olight or what?
The Olight Seeker 2 Pro.
Okay.
And that's got 4 settings on that switch. I won't shine it into the camera here.
Turn it around. I want to see the back side, because I think that's the one that's got that little. Yeah, that's the one that I broke.
Is that right?
About $130 flashlight.
Yeah,
I didn't.
$130 flashlight, but
it's the only flashlight I've ever tested out of all the flashlights I've tested that did not survive being dropped more than once. I dropped it and it shut off, and I thought maybe something hit the button, so I turned it back on. And I dropped it again, and then it never turned back on. It wouldn't turn, the lights, the little LED lights around that ring would light up, and I showed this on my channel. And it's kind of funny, and I don't want to rag on Olight, but I wish they would have gotten back with me, because as a tester, it kind of ticked me off, because if I would have been a customer, what would have happened? I paid for it and shipped it back to them like they told me to, and I never heard from them again. Like 6 months passed, not again, but I mean, I never heard anything else about that light. I never got a replacement. They didn't tell me what happened to it. There's a lot of little circuits going on in there with that button and all the different modes that it has.
Oh yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering if we aren't compromising ourselves if we get a flashlight that has too many different modes or features. I don't know. What do you think about that? Is it possible to have just too much crap in a light? I mean, I can't even remember how to access half the modes in my flashlights anyway. I usually know how to do like high, low, strobe, and off.
Yeah.
So if it has like this one's got like 8 different modes, it'll SOS and it'll do a beacon mode and it'll do a power down mode and a turbo mode, whatever. I just know how to turn it on, I know how to turn it off, and I know how to make it go into strobe. So what do you think? Are we getting to a point where flashlights are just they're trying to just sell you on the features when we just need to get back to the core of it, which is a good durable light that's going to last? What do you think?
Yeah, they've got a lot of features on them. You know, if a fella needs those kind of features and the durability and warranty, yeah, it's definitely worth the money. I've got one here that I'll use this.
Now, does that use the old school brick battery in it, or is that rechargeable, or what?
It's rechargeable.
It's rechargeable. Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
4 or 5 settings on that. If I'm hunting for a trailer at night, or if I'm hunting for something at night around the yard, whatever, then this one comes out. I keep that one charged and ready to go most of the time.
Well, something I want to say is
throw out.
Oh God, yes.
The light.
It'll light up everything underneath the trailer, basically, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If here's the thing, I don't care what brand you buy, but try for once, just get yourself a good like name brand flashlight and just try it, and I think you'll notice the difference. Like, especially and I got a little headlamp I showed off on my channel a couple days ago. It was a $13 Nebo brand, and that is the most useful thing to have when I'm walking my dog out in the dark, because I live in an area that's kind of out in the open. There's a lot of nature around. So there's a lot of dark areas where I can't see where we're going. And if he does his thing, I want to pick it up and throw it away like a responsible person should. And I can't see anything because it's totally dark. So the little headlamp has just added so much more enjoyment to the nighttime walks, because we go in the morning when it's dark, we go late at night, before I hit the hay. So having a good flashlight, I think you'll be surprised. Now, I also want to say this. If you get yourself a flashlight, really watch the number of lumens that you're buying into, because in my opinion, you want to buy you can always say, well, you can never have enough lumens. Well, if you get a flashlight that only has on and off and it's like 2,400 lumens, right? That might be a little much to use indoors, especially if you're trying to like work under a sink or you're trying to like look around something, because you got this glare that's going to bounce off your walls, especially with a tactical light. Thinking about how you're going to use it. Is it primarily a CQB light, defend your home light? Or do you have to light up an acreage out back of your house? Do you have to throw a long beam? So I've noticed that with my pistol lights, they're kind of borderline a bit much for indoor use, because if it's pitch black and I'm sleeping and I wake up and I'll sometimes just test the light, it glares and it could, wash out a target. It could wash out whatever. Now, I do recommend having a separate hand light when you're using a pistol. But if you're in a situation where you don't have time for that, or you are using it for duty or combat, you're going to have a weapon mounted light. But single shot, what's your take on the lumens? Are we just going crazy? Because I see this new Streamlight I'm going to be reviewing has got like 2,400 lumens, and this guy has like, I think 400 or something, and this is more than adequate for outside. What do you think?
Oh yeah, you don't want to get into the situation where you're going to have way too much light.
Yeah,
because that's going to come back in your face, and it's going to have an effect on your vision.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So. That's the thing that gets me with these fog lights, people love to call them. They're not fog lights, guys. Come on. The driving lights. Off-road driving lights.
Well, I think a long time ago they had the amber lenses, or they had the yellow lenses that was meant to penetrate through fog and illuminate without washing out, Yep. But what I've noticed with fog is the more light you add to fog, the worse the conditions are, unless you've got a certain kind of light that can penetrate through the fog. It just adds to the glare. So it's not always a good thing to have more light when you're going into, thick fog, So AWAG says Lux is more accurate than Lumens. Is Lux like the Candela number, AWAG? Because I don't know if I've ever seen Lux on like an Olight box. I've seen Lumens. I mean, they sell us on the Lumens because it's a number that I think your average consumer can relate to. Ghost Tactical's out there. He says LA Police Gear makes some very durable lights for a great price as well. Yeah, that'd be a good place to check it. Check around on prices. There's a lot of differences in prices. If you can buy factory direct, I'd recommend it. And many times, from the factory, I know Olight does this. If you spend so much, they throw in a bonus light. You might not get that if you buy that same light through Amazon. So kind of keep that in mind. Jason J says, I carry a Phoenix E11 for EDC and I love it. Ghost Tactical says my favorite lights are Surefire and Streamlight. Yeah, I'll just say this right now. If you've got a full-size pistol and you want a good light, and I've had this for probably 5 years now, and I've only changed the batteries in it once. I've got the Surelight TLR1 HL. I know it's getting a little bit dated. It's a little bit bulky, but like on a G17 or my Walther PDP, this is where it's at, man. I mean, this thing is bright. This is duty grade. This has been dropped a couple times. It's been out in extreme weather. And I mean, I know cops carry this as an EDC light. I don't know about military, but this is definitely the TLR1 HL. I think they're like maybe $150. I don't even know the price. 125. But like I said, I bought mine 5 years ago on the recommendation of the Jarhead 6 channel because he had one on a G17, and it's been a wonderful combination for a bedside gun. And it's kind of funny is I recently tested an Olight weapon light that has almost double the lumens, and you can tell that difference between the two. And I got to be honest with you, I actually kind of lean more towards the Streamlight. I look a little bit less reduction in the lumens because it has just a cleaner illumination instead of just a concentrated bright spot that washes out, which would be great outdoors. You're out in the woods or something, man. You need something that's going to light up your target. But something like this is just a nice all-around light. So that's what I definitely recommend. I like the Streamlight TLR1 HL, and I'll make a few recommendations to you. Snake Doctor 78 says, "Oh no." And I think honestly, I'm trying to think because they make like dozens and dozens of models. They start at probably $20, maybe 15 for like a little pen light. Now for Maglite, I'm kind of on the fence, and the reason why is I've done a video. They do these little 2AA lights that you just screw to turn them on and screw to turn them off, and the end pops off and it turns into a torch. Are you familiar with those single shot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like $10. Now they're LED lights, so they're like 15 or 20. But I bought these when they were 10. They came with extra bulbs. They have a little sheath that comes with them. The problem with those is, I mean, the light output is adequate. Like you can direct the beam by turning the headlamp itself.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with them is, I don't know if it's because of the aluminum case. If you don't change the batteries out yearly, every set of batteries I've ever put in these things has leaked. And I've tried Duracell. I've tried Energizer. I buy the Kirkland batteries at Costco, which are actually made by Duracell. They're a little bit cheaper in like a 48 pack. So yeah, so Snake Doctor gives a thumbs down to Maglite. So I don't know if Maglite does rechargeable. I mean, Maglite was kind of the standard, back in the day. I've got a Maglite that takes 3Cs, and that doesn't have the battery leaching problem. But this little 2AA one does. And I kind of wish I wouldn't have. I mean, I bought a bunch of them, and they're great. I just have them in all the drawers of the house. I've got them in bags. But then if I don't change the batteries, they'll leak acid, and there's a good chance that it's going to ruin the light. Like you get the batteries out, but then it's packed with battery acid. It's like, it's $10. Is it even worth trying to save? You can, but it's just going to do the same thing next year. So I've been leaning more towards the rechargeable route, which, I mean, I know it's in like an SHTF situation, it might not be the best thing, but I've got battery bricks all over the place. I've got little power centers I can plug into to charge stuff if I need to. So AWAG 1000 says, Streamlight HLX Pro Tac on my rifle, had it for 5 years. Switching over to a Surefire M300 Scout for my Mark 18. Okay. Snake Doctor says, I love my SR1 baton. We got the Phoenix E11 out there also. AWAG says the Streamlight 10-tap system is really nice. Yeah, so you've got a lot of options when you go out there. One thing you want to, okay, so this is another one, the batteries real quick. So AWAG says, I run lithium batteries for everything. So, the thing is, you might think you're getting a good light. You spend $20, $23, $25 on your light. And then you got to watch out, are there batteries available for it? Does it take a type of battery that you can replace? Is it proprietary? Is the battery removable? Can you change it if you need to? Like I've got an Olight PL Mini Valkyrie 2, a little short pistol light that's rechargeable. I don't know the first thing about changing the battery in this thing, if I can even do it. You might be able to send it into Olight to get it changed. Olight offers a lot of service for selling flashlights in the USA. They're one of the better companies, I would say, other than the experience I had with the one I broke. But for the average customer, their customer service is good about replacements and warranties. They usually do I think 3 to 5 years on a lot of their flashlights. So you have an option. Batteries, so single stride, the majority of your flashlights rechargeable?
No.
They're not. Okay, you do alkaline batteries and stuff? Or what do you do?
2 Pro is. And the big light that I've got at the house there, that's another Olight I forget the model of it. It's one of the big ones.
Oh, okay, okay.
Man, that's rechargeable. But
And I forgot the one that I sent Squid. I think he said takes the CR123s. I didn't even think about that when I sent it to him. But now they make that a rechargeable model. I don't know if it takes a single battery that takes the place of two CR123s. About the batteries, the CR123 is this little short, stubby battery. And Snake Doctor says, yeah, I run CR123s. Those seem to be everywhere now. I think if you have a flashlight that takes two CR123s, you can swap it out with what I'm going to show you as the battery in this thing as an option. The CR123s, you can buy them in bulk online. With the Olights, there's something weird about the Olights. People are saying they try to use Streamlight batteries in their Olights and they don't work. And I've seen some fix-it videos where Olight puts some extra spacer or something in there to compensate for a shorter CR123, like a washer that kind of keeps the battery pushed back a little bit. And when you try to put your Streamlight batteries in the Olight, it won't let you close the cap. You can't get the batteries in completely, or you can't shut the door on the back. So if you take out that little plastic washer from your flashlight, it's going to be down towards the front of it, down towards the inside, like in this area. Then you can use the Streamlight batteries in your Olight. So there's like a little 5-minute fix-it video that somebody posted on YouTube a while ago. So when it comes to the rechargeable batteries, like the Night Provision, some of these they plug directly in. What Night Provision does, and this has been a good little $25 flashlight. If you watch my review video for this, I do have a discount code for you, but I don't get any kind of sales affiliate thing for it at all. I just want to give you guys a good deal. So that's why I got a negotiated discount for you guys, right? So this is a 2600 milliamp single rechargeable battery. It looks like a AA battery on steroids. 3.7 volts, 9.6 watt hours of electricity. And it has a USB port right here, micro USB. So you can plug in directly and you can charge with this, and it has a little light that goes red. And when it goes blue, it's fully charged. And then you just, it's a lithium ion micro USB rechargeable, and it's a 18650. I think that's the size standard for it. So if you need to get a replacement, that's what you want to look for. Clovertax says those 18650 batteries have gotten popular. I think it's because they can take the place of two CR123As. That might be the reason why, because those might be like a 1.75 volts and these two add up to 3.7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Kevin in New York says lithium battery is less likely to leak. Yeah, I probably am just going to go the rechargeable route from here on out. Although if it's like a sealed rechargeable, after a couple of years, there's a possibility that, you won't be able to use it anymore. So I don't know. So what single shot, what models are you looking at right now? Is there any certain brands you're checking out or things you're interested in, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I got to get another headlamp, and I've got a couple of them. They were just cheap ones. I mean, they work good and all.
Yeah,
they're AAA powered, but I wanted something a little bit more durable.
Okay.
And now Olight has those little pop lights that are
they're starting to sell little pod lights and stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they have they're great for tanning and stuff like that. Somebody that's out camping, they want to use a little light inside the tent or whatever they're doing. They seem to be pretty good for night lights for the kids too. They come in different colors. They don't show off a lot of illumination, but it's about equal to the moonlight on my Secret 2 Pro.
Okay.
That little flashlight right there, though, it really surprised me is on the durability of it and the levels of the lumens. I never really realized how bright one of them things could be until I got the light and I started playing with it.
Yeah. And it's amazing what a $20 flashlight will do for you these days. I mean, back in the day, $20 would buy you a good flashlight too, 20 or 30 years ago. And I grew up in the age of the Ever-Ready 2D battery plastic flashlight, or the metal one that's got the magnet on the back that I actually have downstairs in my garage. It's stuck to the shelf because it has the magnet on the side, the magnet on the back. So you can stick it on things that are metal, basically.
Yep. Yeah, I think I still got one of those lights.
Yeah. They're not very bright. You think they're great when you're younger, like, I got this great flashlight. Then you use one of these, like the headlamp that I used that I tested in my video recently, the Nebo. it's got a real wide band of a light on it. So it lights up the entire engine bay of the car. Like I don't have to turn my head to illuminate stuff. I can just look where I want to look. And
Oh,
it puts
yeah.
out good, clean light without a glare. So I can look like around the engine block and stuff. I was just kind of showing it off in my video. And that's only 50 lumens on bright setting and 25 or 20 on low and 5 on the weakest setting. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing what just 50 lumens will do for you, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have here? Snake Doctor says, yeah, and those are better to have one 18650 versus two CR123s. Never mix CR123 with new and old; they will explode. Yeah, batteries. I've always been, you know, I kind of grew up, you know, driving and racing radio control cars and airplanes and stuff. So batteries and I have had a long relationship. So I know you don't want to mix new and the old. Like when I would do battery packs, I'd rotate them in and out, and cells and stuff like that. And then with alkalines, I'd never mix and match. I'd always have fresh batteries that would go in. I'd never mix an old and a new unless I was like testing something to see if it was working. So that's a good point about the CR123s. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that that you do that. Razor JB says, just be known, CR123s over time when not in use maintain charge, whereas 18650s and rechargeables over time when not in use drain. Got to make sure to keep up on those rechargeables. That's a good point because here I've got, you know, again, the OL, the Olight, you know, PL Mini 2 Valkyrie. I can never remember the names of these. And I haven't used this or touched it in months. And I went to go use it, and guess what? It was dead. It has some sort of parasitic drain, just like any other electrical device. It's good now. Like, you know, I did plug it, or I snapped on the little proprietary charger. It just clips on there, and I'm charging it. But yeah, I was surprised that this actually died, even though it's a lithium-ion battery. They don't last forever. So you could have some sort of parasitic drain, and just like alkalines over a long time, you know, your alkaline batteries are going to drain too, especially if you don't use the device. That's just degradation of the chemicals, right? You can't get around that.
Right.
Storm and Norman says, I like Olight or Night Core thrower flashlights that throw a solid beam out to 500 yards. Yeah, when I do my flashlight tests, when I lived at my old house, I had a field out back of my house, and I could like light up the field in the neighbor's house like dang near 100 yards away. I could light up the back of their home. I feel sorry for them because I always did that to their house anytime I did flashlight tests, but it was always like midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning when I would do it. So luckily the cops never got called on me, but yeah. All right. So why don't we just do some shopping and just see what's out there? Because I haven't, you know, I've been very limited to tester flashlights on the channel, the things that have been, you know, sent my way. So let's just kind of take a look at what we have here for lights that are available. Let's go on over to the Surefire website real quick, and we'll see what we have here. So they've got different categories. So if you go there, it's like, it's a bit overwhelming initially because you got, wait a minute, do I want military? Do I want tactical? What's the difference, right? Do I want law enforcement? Do I want outdoor? What the hell is Max Vision, right? I mean, there's so much stuff here. Do you want Scout? Who's a Scout? That looks like Ghost Tactical right there. That's Ghost right there. But, okay, let's just go for something like, okay, everyday carry, a nice EDC light, okay? And these may or may not be pistol mounted. So you go over to Surefire's website. And again, I'm not endorsed by any of these companies. I'm just showing off what they have when you go there. And, okay, so they do have a weapon light. So you are going to pay, you know, a pretty penny for these lights, but you're also getting something that if it's the only flashlight you have to buy and it's covered for the life of that device, and it's going to work when you need it to, and the switch gear is going to work when you need it to, in my opinion, I would say that it's definitely money well spent. Again, I've never spent $179 on a flashlight. I've never spent $329 on a weapon light. But if you want, in my opinion, the best, you're going to have to pay for it. And you can get by on a $50 Olight. Don't get me wrong. But if you want something that's going to take a beating, and you always try to think to yourself, what if I'm in a worst case scenario and things are getting heavy and hot? You know, is it going to run when I need it to? And I think that's what you really need to think about when you spend your money. I don't know if Surefires are made in the USA. I mean, I know that's a big deal with people. Anytime I post flashlight videos, there's a lot of people that say, hey, I can't believe you're pushing this garbage that comes from this country or that country. And I mean, a big part of it is it's hard to find quality American-made flashlights. You can look around. There's some companies out there. But I don't know. Single Shot, do you have any take on Surefire at all? Any thoughts?
No, I've seen a light, but I've never had one. You know, I never owned one. So,
okay.
You know, that might be a possibility when I'm looking at this this headlamp. Take a look.
Oh, okay. Let's check that out. Yeah, outdoors. Yeah. And I'll say this: I've bought the cheapo $15, you know, rechargeable
on that product.
Yeah, I've got the El Cheapo $15 Wish.com light, but it's bulky. It's not the most durable thing in the world. It's heavy. Yeah, Yeah, these headlamps on Surefire, you're going to pay a pretty penny, but I can guarantee you that the light output is going to be like amazing. When you put it on, you're like, wow, that's got a good beam. It's clean light. You know, it's going to have good battery life. It's going to be rugged. So the headlamps over at Surefire start at $200, which, I mean, that's, I would like to do a head-to-head comparison of that versus my little, you know, well, let's see. Okay, let's see how many lumens this puts out. What does the Minimus put out? Let's see what it actually does here. Okay. I do like that little Luminox wrist light. That's pretty sweet. So
That's
this is,
cool.
oh God. Okay, so 5 to 300 lumens with 13 settings.
Whoa.
So that's a pretty good spread. And here's the thing you got to keep in mind. If you are serious about buying one of these or you're going to use it extensively outdoors, battery life at max output or turbo mode, as they call it, is really going to be, it's going to be low. You're looking at maybe 2.5 hours, which for most people, that's going to do the job. But a lot of these Olights that I test, they're 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes on max. And that's about all you get. So you're not going to run this thing for days running it on max output. So keep that in mind.
Right.
Like here it says high runtime, 1.5 hours if you're pushing 300 lumens. It's going to get hot. Peak beam intensity is 1,100 candelas. That's, you can kind of think of that maybe as lumens. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure how you measure candelas, but more is brighter. I can tell you that. That's about all I can tell you. Yeah. So on low output, 5 lumens, it'll run for 75 hours. And honestly, my little flashlight has a 5 lumen setting. You can function with it if you don't have to cover any super difficult terrain. 5 lumens is enough to illuminate a sidewalk, your yard when you're walking through it, anything reflective. So that's not bad, just to kind of give you an idea if you have no idea how lumens are going to work. This is polymer and aluminum, mil-spec hard anodized. It weighs 4 ounces, and it's IPX7 resistant. You want to go with an IPX setting that's greater than 5, if I'm not mistaken. IPX7 will give you 1 meter, let's just say 3 feet of submersion for up to 30 minutes. So if you accidentally drop your light in water, obviously you don't want your $200 flashlight to short out. Look at those IPX durability ratings. There's also like a wind rating or salt spray rating. But the higher the IPX, the more rugged and the more durable it's going to be. So keep that in mind. Like my little Nebo flashlight was IPX 4 or 5, which is basically enough to handle being maybe out in the rain or being sprayed with water, but not being totally submerged. Right. So think about that when you're buying it. Look for a high IPX number. Look for something with variable lumens so you're not locked into one lumen setting. So here's the law enforcement side of Surefire. Yeah, the X300A weapon light. I think a few people had mentioned that. That's $329. And you might say, oh my God, $329, blah, blah, blah. Well, you spent $600 on a tool to defend yourself. Yeah. Do you not want to spend another $300 to illuminate what you need to use that tool on? Or do you not want something quality that's going to work when you want it to? Or do you want something janky that's going to flicker and barely function when you're using it under stress? That's the question I'm going to ask you. And I'm just here to make sure you guys are getting the good stuff that's going to work for you, that's going to protect your life if you need it. But I'm not saying you got to buy this brand. I'm just saying that in general, these are things that maybe people don't think about. Firearms owners can spend hundreds of dollars on a gun, but then be the cheapest people in the world. Yeah,
so I had quite a comparison as far as that goes. When I was buying a helmet there, when I bought the motorcycle, and we was talking about the prices, and the guy just looked at me straight in the face. He says, "Well, $25 helmet for a $25 head. You look at it."
Well, I will say this. I mean, I'm sure after a certain velocity of your head hitting concrete, it's not going to matter.
No.
If you hit something, but I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, just to handle a good strike, maybe lower speed or something. It's just right. You get what you pay for, but do your research. And definitely make sure that you're buying quality and watch the reviews. Don't be sold on the reviews. I like to read a lot of the 2 and 3 star reviews to see what it is people don't like. I noticed on a lot of 1-star reviews, it's ridiculous stuff like, oh, the package was 2 weeks late, or oh, they forgot to ship me this part with it, or no, seriously, if you look on Amazon 1-star reviews, people complain about stuff not showing up when it's supposed to. So they give the product a 1-star review. That's how ridiculous human beings can be sometimes.
Oh yeah.
AWAG has another good point. The M300 and M600 are rated for recoil too. If you watch my weapon light tests, I mount them on a firearm and run at least 100 rounds through the firearm, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done a weapons light video. Well, I did I did 25 or 50 rounds on my most recent one because it was 9mm, and I could have done 100, but it handled the 25 with no problems at all. But typically, when I test anything that's a weapon mounted light, it gets 100 rounds. I used to just go out to the range and just blaze through magazines, and now with the cost of ammo, I don't. And honestly, a lot of those videos that I do, the flashlight videos, because it's an accessory, they get either limited or no ads slapped on them, or it could be because I put links in the video or whatever. So I don't get much back out of those flashlights, aside from the enjoyment of doing the testing, and aside from the enjoyment of giving information to people. That's kind of how I benefit from it personally. Helping somebody make a good choice, I enjoy doing that. So I don't make a lot of money on flashlight videos. I'm just going to be honest with you right now. There are some channels that do. They make bank because they sell hundreds of them or lots of them. They get a commission from it. I'll be lucky if I clear the cost of the ammo on the lifetime of the video anymore, not even. So, but yeah, AWAG talks about the recoil. You want to make sure that, if you get a duty grade weapon, you're going to be getting a light that's going to be able to handle the recoil. And I've bought some El Cheapo lights that have basically fallen apart after a magazine or two. Like a lot of people, I wanted to just get the cheapest light I could get to get on the gun. And then you take it to the range and the light falls apart or just dies after so many rounds. It can't handle the recoil. So don't skimp on. The older I get, the more I feel that you shouldn't skimp on good illumination for your weapon. And don't skimp on decent optics and glass for your firearms. Don't buy trash. Because if you want to get a little $30 red dot and that works, that's fine. I've tested those before, but the older I get, the more my priorities have changed as a gun owner. And the thought of having to use that firearm, I want something that's going to work. And if that means I got to pay 2 or 3 times more, then so be it. That's just life, Okay, Ron 2A Matter says, hey, Travis P11, what's going on, Ron? Good to see you, buddy. Gizzard Gary says, even Surefire lights buy LEDs from China. No one in the U.S. manufactures high-power LEDs, so they may be mostly U.S. made. Not 100%. Not even Maglite is 100%. Yeah, so people that hate on the stuff that we show off, but then I've had a lot of people say, well, I hate the Olight videos because every gun channel puts out Olight videos. We do because there's a sale going on for like a day or two. So we all want to get the word out. We all want to show off the product and whatever, and give a nice return back to Olight because they sent the product to us, right? But they also do have a good presence in the USA. They used to hold public events before COVID where you could go check out their flashlights and test their flashlights. They have USA-based offices. So, Olight, in my opinion, is the lesser of all the evils that are out there in terms of where your money's going. But in the end, where does it end up? That's the big question. So I do try to buy American when I can. But, I do get a lot of stuff sent my way that's fairly inexpensive that people like to see. So what else do we have here? Razor JB says Cree, who is in Durham, North Carolina, manufactures their own LEDs, which are in a lot of these lights. So I wonder, okay, so Razor, when I see these flashlights on wish.com and they say they have Cree LEDs in them, do you really think the Chinese are importing lights from the USA to put those in their flashlights? Probably not. They're probably lying. They're probably saying it's a Cree type of style of bulb, right, of LED light. So that's good to know. If Cree does actually make them in the USA, then we do have some hope. And there, you can look up American-made flashlights. You can, the components might be foreign source, but in the end, the labor, the manufacturer, the sales, the money stays here, sort of, except for the components that they buy. So that's always a possibility. What else do we have here? Kevin Jung says, great to know Gizzard Gary. I'm a fan of the Olights. Olights are habit forming. They really are, because it's like limited edition colors and little accessories and, Razor JB says Modlite is expensive, but far superior. Surefire and most LED, even mill moving towards them, literally make Surefire look weak in every area. You know what? Let's check out Modlite. What is Modlite all about here? Modlite Systems. How expensive can a flashlight get, or does it have to be expensive? All right, so let's show off Modlite. I want to check this out. I've never seen this brand before, so let's do some shopping. Again, we're here today to give you some ideas. I don't know, single shot, you down for spending some money or what?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so is Modlite expensive? I don't know. Let's go. So we've got rifle-mounted lights from Modlite. Okay, so we've got under $300, so they're within that $100 to $300 price range, which a lot of companies are. So what is this light? What does the 18650 package actually give us? What do we get? So it says you got the 18650 body, so it's going to take an 18650 battery. Includes a single 3500 milliamp battery. The X-Star MC2 charger, which that may be proprietary. Oh, it's not. Yeah, this is just the 18650 battery charger. So you don't always have to plug the batteries in directly. Like you can put them in a traditional battery charger, like we had when we were younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, while lumen output with this light is similar to the Surefire M600DF head, the throw is much better suited to a rifle-mounted application at more than 3 times the amount throw than the M600DF. So I like the fact that they recognize the competition and they try to explain why they're superior. I do appreciate that. They're not afraid to just simply call them out and say, look, lumens are the same, but our beam is better. That's another thing to consider, too. I've never purchased a rifle-specific weapons light for my rifles. And that's you may be getting something that has a beam that is better directed towards rifle targeting, the use on a rifle. Made and assembled in the USA. Cool white 5700K emitter tint. That's the color of the light overall. Drivers are fully potted and tested to withstand select fire SCAR 17 recoil. That is good. So when I finally get a SCAR 17, 20 years from now, it's good to know that I can use it. So single shot, this might be something to look into. Modlite.
Yeah.
Modlite. So that is, it says the light itself is American made and assembled in the USA. I'm wondering about the components. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. And again, I'm not going to hold it against them if this isn't because, well, it's a battery charger and that's what you expect.
That's something that's unusual right there by itself is getting an external battery charger.
Made and assembled in the USA. So maybe they do source all the components in the USA. These guys might be getting my money on my next weapon light. Approximately, oh my God, 1,350 out the front lumens. And Candela's approximately 54,000. Excellent overall light and head, good for indoor and outdoor use. So I don't know if it has multiple light settings. 6061 aluminum with mil-spec hard anodizing. Ultra clear borofloat lens allows 98 to 99% light transmittance. Cool. 5.4 ounces with tail cap and battery. That is light.
That is very light.
So it says that lithium CR123 cells are not supported, and if used, will cause the cells to heat up and possibly explode or catch fire. We recommend the Modlite 18650 high drain cells, which can be found here. Runtime is about 75 minutes with the supplied cells. Beam comparison shots are available in the product images above. Okay, there you go. So they do actually go and, call out Surefire as a competitor, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You can get it with no tail cap in case you want to use your own tail cap, and then no tail cap or charger. So I don't know if there's a standard for tail caps that's out there on the market that all these flashlights use. There may be like a mil-spec tail cap and button that people prefer. That is another component that can fail too. The pressure switch, you have to watch out for that on these. So there you go, single shot, 279.
Yeah, well, I'll give that a shot.
Because all I have right now is just the Feachi little $30 light that's on my 300 blackout pistol, which works fine, by the way. Works really good. Man, that's just one package. That's not even all the other ones that they offer. So they keep it simple. They don't have, a ton of lights, but they do have, a good selection of what they offer.
Right.
Do they have headlights at all? Here's handheld. Oh, let's check out their pistol mounted lights. Let's see what they have here. Sorry, guys, I'm not checking the comments right now. I'll be back in a moment to look at it. So these are $319. We've got 3 different types here. Let's just check out the PL350. I'm just grabbing a random one here. The pistol light. Let's see. What do we have here? You get a single 18350 rechargeable battery. Set of arc switch paddles. Packages are available with or without a 2-cell charger, so you can save money if you need to. I like how they offer that option. So this one will run 35 to 40 minutes of continuous use. Again, you might not have it on the whole time. You might just be using it as you're, scanning or clearing or whatnot. So that's 1350 lumens also, 54,000 candelas. Okay, so here's what it looks like mounted on. Oh, I can't think of the company that makes it. Is that Vex? Maybe, I don't know, is that a Vex pistol? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah.
Not bad.
Cool, got the Trigicon on there. Yeah, so 329. Okay, so that looks like a pretty solid recommendation. If you want to buy a good, solid, American-made flashlight, that is viewer recommended. Okay, that's definitely something to check out. Something else I wanted to talk about real quick too is you got to watch out, like this PL Mini 2 Valkyrie. When I put this on my Walther PDP that has the 5-inch barrel, this thing only goes about halfway down the dust cover. So there's like an extra 3 inches of dust cover, pistol lower that's exposed. So when you turn this on, the shadow of the dust cover, the bottom of the pistol actually blocks about 15 or 20% of the beam. You actually get an outline of the dust cover when you're using it right in the top of your light. So make sure that you're getting a light that is going to fit your firearm, because we have two. This would be more of a compact, maybe Glock 19 size, right? Whereas the TLR1 is good. Now you also don't want 2 inches of light hanging off the front of the light. You want to make sure that maybe the muzzle and the light are close, or that you've only got about an inch of forward, whatever you want to call it, clearance on the barrel. So that's something to think about too when it comes to the lights. Okay.
Those gases coming off the end of that barrel can do damage to the
Yeah, there's a possibility it could shatter the glass,
anyway, if it's hanging past the muzzle of that barrel.
Yeah, you want to be careful when you clean that glass too, because there's going to be a lot of particles on that glass. So maybe if you can, wash it off and then wipe it off with like a lens cleaner, so you don't scratch up the lens on it, which you might be able to replace with some of these brands. I don't know. So single shot, are there any lights you would tell people to stay away from? Have you had any bad luck with any lights? For me, it was just those Maglite AA's. Of course, I haven't used the LED ones, but yeah.
I've had a couple of Maglites that, I can't knock them because I beat the living crap out of the first one that I bought when I first started driving. I still got that light.
Yeah.
But you still have that same problem with the batteries corroding inside of them. Once they do that, you might as well throw the whole thing in the trash can.
Yeah.
And those were not cheap.
Were those C and D flashlights also? D cells and C cell flashlights, or were they AA's? What were yours? They were. Oh, okay. Because I have one. I've got a blue anodized one that needs. I think I bought it for like $5 at a hardware store on clearance. It came with the batteries initially. Now, what's nice is you can run the cheap Dollar Tree Everready dry cell non-alkaline batteries in them. Yeah. So it's an inexpensive option if you just want to have a flashlight around the garage, or just have a spare you throw in the back of your vehicle. Temperature is the other thing you might want to watch out for. I don't know how temperature sensitive these batteries are. If you live in a hot climate, say like Arizona or Texas, and it gets up to like 125 degrees in your car, do we have to worry about these being affected by temperature? And on the other end, I wonder how extreme cold affects these. I think it can kill battery life if you have super cold temperatures with lithium ion. So that's something also to consider. And I don't know if the batteries from, say, those companies we've been looking at today, Surefire, Modlite, whatnot, if they make batteries that are designed to operate in those harsh environments. So you might be in a place where you have to run alkaline because the lithium ions don't hold up. I do know that battery life degrades when you get past a certain cold temperature, like below freezing. Because that's like an issue with electric cars and rechargeables and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
if you don't use them, keep them fairly warm, then they'll start to degrade on you.
Mm-hmm. What's funny is, like, 3 years ago, I did a Bushnell flashlight test. Walmart had these ones on clearance for $20. And Never Enough Ammo had it on his channel. He was showing it off on his channel. I picked one up at Walmart, and it took like 8 or 10 AA's. I mean, it was ridiculous, but it came with like 10 Duracells. I thought, man, the freaking price of the flashlight alone is right here in the batteries, even if I don't use a flashlight. And that flashlight's had those batteries in it for 3 years. It'll be 3 years this fall now, and I've not changed them. They still hold. They still work just fine if I ever grab it and use it. It just sits on my reloading bench, as a spare flashlight if I need it. It's got some weight. It's like aluminum, so it's got some weight. It's got like 10 AA's in it, so you can pop something with it if you need to. But I've had really good luck with that light, and that just runs off alkalines. So, okay, so AWAG says lithium batteries are rated to 30 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. It's the alkaline batteries that are temperature sensitive. Okay. Although it's weird, I swear to God, my grandparents put batteries in the freezer when I was a kid. Or in the fridge or something to keep them preserved. I don't know. My family's weird sometimes. X Adam 1 says my 18650 batteries were left in my car side door compartment in 105 degree weather for days, and it didn't affect the battery life. Okay, so that's good to know, because I didn't know if temperature affects these things or not. AWAG 1000 says Modlite, Surefire, and Streamlight are muzzle blast rated. It won't bother these lights. Okay, that's good to know. Now, X Adam 1 makes a good point. So, single shot, what's your thought on X Adam 1's comment here? He says, I don't care where a product is made. I like value and quality for my hard-earned money.
I agree. And that's what you got to look at. How much use are you going to get out of that thing? Is it just an occasional use on the item, or are you going to have that thing right in your pocket like I do, and the thing right at fingertip reach and I'm using it all the time, doing my inspections, checking under the truck, and all this other stuff. And it gets used.
So, I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, we want as much stuff as possible that can be made in America. We want to keep that money here. We want to keep our workers employed. We want to promote American industry and enterprise. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
we don't make everything here, and there are times where you see your money go abroad. Even though there may be, U.S. based companies that import these products, and you pay the tax on it when you buy it, and there's people that get paid to stock it on the shelves, and there's a whole cycle of commerce that happens. I try to buy American when I can, as much as I can, but there are times when it just doesn't happen.
Right.
I do wish we could make everything here in this country. Don't get me wrong; it'd be great if all these flashlights were made in the U.S. and we had the resources to make them here. We probably do, but people say, "Well, nobody wants to pay 5 times more for that product." You might be surprised, actually. I would, knowing that
That's
it's going to
right.
promote American industry. I mean, I would.
I will
So
if it promotes and helps the industry here in this country. Absolutely.
And then many times, the business reps say things like, well, nobody's going to pay $20 for this can opener when they can go to Walmart and get a Chinese made one for $3. It's like, well, if I get an American made one, it's going to last me a lifetime. Then that's money well spent.
To each his own.
Right on, man. X Adam 1 says, I've had problems with my Surefire weapons lights. I've had to remove a plastic insert and ensure better press on the battery to get consistent non-flashing light when shooting. Okay. So stuff must be flexing, screwing with the contacts, causing a surge. So that can be a problem. G23 says, hey, y'all, I might not be able to do my live stream today if I don't get power back. So G23, if we see you going live, G23, what time would that be that you would go live if you do go live? Because I know I should know this, but I never know if you guys are gonna vary your time. So go ahead and put that in the chat, G23. Let us know. Battle Chris says that Lux is the best measurement. Lumens is for short throw distance.
Right.
So, Battle Chris, the question I have for you is Lux and Candela the same thing? Because Candela seems like it's like a candle comparison light intensity. It's like the Candela to me is like the horsepower of the light world. You've got so much horsepower to an engine. You've got so many candelas of intensity for a flashlight. So I probably should have looked up some of these terms, but we're simply talking about as consumers, experiences we have with different brands and different types of lights and how they worked out for us or not, right? Razor JB, go ahead.
I like a focusable beam too. Some cases you need a narrow beam, and sometimes you need that
this
wide
one actually
flood.
does that. Yep.
And this one here that I've got will do that. When
You can see what it does in my hand.
Throw that thing into turbo. The thing does get hot. So
yeah, they do put heat warnings on these, and luckily they're all aluminum, which they actually act as like a natural heat sink. This one doesn't get super hot, but this guy, just after a couple minutes, this Night Provision one, this guy does get pretty warm on the end. But this is what I used to use when I'd walk the dog in the mornings, just to look for stuff when I'm out walking. And yeah, these guys do get hot too, so you want to make sure you don't touch it, or be careful when you grab it, because you can burn yourself. And then also they do put warnings on here for a reason. Don't shine these at people intentionally, because they can cause temporary blindness. They could screw up somebody's eyes. So that's what they're designed. They're meant to, they're an overpowering light to identify your assailant, target, suspect, whatever, right? So be very careful with these. I mean, especially got little kids playing with these. When we were little kids, we used to shine flashlights in our eyes all the time. You're running around. But those were not very intense flashlights. They were just, or you'd stare at it and then close your eyes and you can still see it. You're like, ooh, But these can be dangerous just because of the sheer intensity of the beam. So please be careful with those. Razor JB says, I can tell you 100% that Cree sells to China as well. Okay. However, I can't tell you what they put in their lights, but Cree has their own manufacturing plant. Yeah, and I've seen Cree LEDs on lots of flashlights being advertised. I didn't know if that was a standard or a style, or if that was an actual company that makes them. So this is definitely good to know. Guns and Barbecue says, oh, snap, I made it to another. Good morning, gentlemen. Guns and Barbecue, how you doing? If you want a wake-up call to get here at the beginning, I'll be more than happy to do so. GMB, I need to start inviting you. Do you not get invites to this chat? We need to get you on here. We need to get you on here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Probably 9 o'clock your time. You guys are the East Coast people have no excuse to not be here. You guys are an hour ahead of me, right? Oh. So Kevin June says, go ahead.
I'm back. I just weak spot here for the signal.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let me go ahead and close out this particular side over here. Kevin June says, let's see. Anybody try the True Glow light? Any feedback? So True Glow, the sights manufacturer, they make flashlights now? I can't keep up with all this new stuff. We'll check the website here in a second and see what they have.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Netflutter says it would be nice to buy everything American made, but that's almost impossible in many, if not most, of our consumer products. Ozzy Horsborn says, good morning. I overslept, dude. I just about did. I was pretty tired when I got up this morning, but I wanted to make sure we could have today's chat. So, and again, so we're just giving you some recommendations, from the experience that we have, brands to throw your way that we know are going to work. There can be some lemons here and there, but these are, just experiences that we had. Streamlight, Surefire, Olight. I'm telling you, this little night provision light for $23 is awesome. It's a great little durable light. Very, you can reverse the clip on it if you want to and use it as a cap light if you want to. That Nebo brand that I show off, they make some really cool lights. The headlamp that I showed off in my most recent video, it has a infrared sensor on it, so you can go into wave mode. So to turn it on and turn it off, all you have to do is wave in front of it. So if you put your hand in front of it, it'll turn on. If you wave up, it'll turn off, even in pitch black. So that is super cool to have when I'm out walking the dog, because I can flick it on, do what I got to do, flick it off, without waking everybody else up when I'm walking around the apartment complex. The only bad thing about that, is if you get lazy, you push your hand in front of it to turn it on. If you don't pull your hand away when you bring your hand back or pull your hand out, it'll hit it again and turn off. You're like, eh. Like when I go like this, I seem to catch it all the time and turn it off. Well, if you use your left hand or whatever, it'll. Anyway, so if you check out my little light test, that was a lot of fun. But the problem I had is I was in front of my camera, and when I turned my head, the infrared beam would think the camera is like an arm or a hand, so it kept turning my light off when I'd go in front of it. So that doesn't happen outside. It didn't happen under the hood of my car. It doesn't happen when I walk the dog. But just in front of the tripod with a big camera right there, it treated it like it was a hand. So actually, I should almost go grab that. So XAdam1 says, I'm a simple man. Turn off on tail switch and button mode button mode levels that cycle. Yeah, me too. Some of these have like SOS mode and beacon mode. I just want low, medium, high, and off. That's all I want in a flashlight. Oh, yeah, strobe. Strobe if it's going to be a weapon mounted light. Obviously for tactical reasons, that's good to have too. All right, so we will head over, since we've looked at Surelight and we looked at Modlite. Let's go over to Olight and just see what they have. And the problem with Olight is they offer so much stuff that you might get something and realize, you could have spent a little bit less and got something different, or you could have spent a little bit more and got something. They are going to have a sale coming up. They've got a fan appreciation event coming up, and they're not asking me to tell you about this. They've already advertised this on their channel. But when you go there, they're already starting to show off all kinds of stuff. You kind of get overwhelmed when you go to the Olight website. They've got the Fan Day, Our Story Together 2021. That's a little too cozy, I think, for a flashlight company. But anyway, this is what Olight does to you, and this is where they reel us in. So if you spend $129, you get the Obulb MC little pop light. I actually have tested this one before. If you spend $200, you get their pen that has a really bright light in it. If you spend $299, you get this, $399, $599, $999. You get all these other things with it. I don't know. Was this like a remote control now to activate it? Oh my God, that's what it looks like. That's crazy. So then you can see what some of the deals are in there. The prices are really good. They do drop their prices, for these deals, because when they're not on sale, they're close to the original price. Here's the Seeker 3 Pro.
Yeah.
This is actually what I'm going to be testing on my channel this week. I'll be making a video for it. And they come in different colors, and you can get different bundles, and you save some money if you buy it this way or that way. Yep. So I broke the number 2. It didn't survive 2 drops at 1 meter, but I will be drop testing this one. As much as I don't want to drop it, I'm going to be drop testing it, because it says, and this is what really bothers me, the package says it says 1.5 meters now. So that's like a 5-foot drop. So I'm going to do my whole Olight test. I'm going to water test it, battery rundown test it, beam test it, and then I'm going to drop it. So that way, if I break it, I don't break it halfway through the test like I did when I made my video, and then I couldn't finish the video. So I'd rather break it at the end and say, look, guys, it didn't survive again. But here's their tail cap charger that they use. It just sticks on the back. It's magnetic. And I showed off my PO Mini Valkyrie too, and it was the same style. So that's what their LED looks like. Yeah, have you been happy with your Seeker 2 single shot?
Oh, yeah. I've dropped this thing a few times. One time I thought she was done in there when I dropped it. Did a three-point dinger off concrete. And I said, uh-oh.
They come in all these pretty colors. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
thinking. I think I got the Desert Tan. I think the Desert Tan is, and then they,
That's
only
cool.
6,000 ever made. Oh, I mean, I'm sure they're going to sell 6,000. Only
Oh, yeah, they will.
9,999 ever made, limited edition.
Sell them out.
It's like,
Right.
I don't know. I can't blame them. I mean, they make it fun. They make the shopping experience fun. They give you a lot of cool options. You feel like you're getting a lot of value for the money. Hassle-free warranty, I think up to 3 years, $49 in free shipping. Oh, they're getting in the knife game now? Okay, there we go. Olight Knights now, apparently. Okay. The O knife. I had no idea they made knives.
No, neither did I. That's interesting.
Now, do you have one of these single shot? Do you have these little bulb lights?
No, the pop lights, no.
Okay, this,
No.
I have like the ones from the Dollar Tree. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this does use their little magnetic clip-on system also. It just clips on the back, and then this will glow green when it's done charging, and you can plug it in any USB source, which is really handy to have. So
yeah, I've got one here in the truck mounted on the dash, and I've also got one at the house there that the same scenario. It plugs into a USB, and battery gets down on it. And I've got a battery indicator on this Seeker 2, and it tells me how much battery life I've got, what mode I'm in, how much power is left on the battery, and
there's a bit of a learning curve that came with that.
Oh yeah,
I noticed that. Yep.
That other big one I got at the house there. I haven't learned that thing all yet, but boy, I'll tell you, I could take that thing outside and nighttime and shine up that 110-yard target awfully easy with that beast.
Okay. Yeah, they do put out a pretty good beam, don't they? It's a monster, man.
Yep, they do.
So this O port, I thought this was like a remote control that comes with the flashlights. Here, I just gave Olight an idea. Have a remote that goes to the flashlight. So if you can't find it, you can push a button and then the flashlight turns
it on.
And you can see it. So this is the O port. It says it's a charger adapter for emergency charging of any Olight at any time. Olight flashlights only. So it's going to use their little magnet connect on the back of it.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. Okay. I guess I had no idea what this was. I guess it functions as jewelry. If you're operating in extreme conditions, you can look fashionable, but also be tactical at the same time. So it's very handy. It's very handy. I'm not going to rip on. I'm just saying that it's Anyway, that's enough with Olight. We'll go ahead and get away from there before you guys.
The only trouble that I've had with Olight, just a few little problems, is the belt carrier. They don't hold up. I mean, I've had mine on my belt 2 or 3 times, and on the back, on the top, or where the strap is attached to the body of the case, that's only like 3 or 4 stitches, and it'll tear them out, and you'll have to put the thing in your pocket. So I keep it in my cargo pocket, but I have to keep checking on it once in a while because I'll get into just the right position to pop that switch on.
Okay.
And I've gotten that case a little bit on the hot side a few times.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, once you use it for quite a while. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, joining us. We got that tactical rooster from down south. I got my brother from another mother down in Kansas. Cousin Gary, what's going on? How you doing, man?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm happy that you're here. So you said something about Kaiser makes knives that Olight is now selling, or putting their name on it, or what's the deal?
Basically, Kaiser's doing the manufacturing, and then Olight is, they put Olight's brand on there, so.
Maybe do some exclusive colors that match.
They are basically designed by Olight, building them to Olight specs. But I'm a member of the Olight Facebook group, so I get a little bit of inside information there.
Oh.
So
Olight has different membership status that people fall into. Isn't that correct? There's gold members and silver members, and
it's based on the amount you spend on their store.
Okay, because that gives you early access to the prices, right? Like, correct. You save more if you are a member of gold or silver and then you buy it. I mean,
you don't save more so much as you might get more freebies.
Oh, okay.
And you do have, depending on your level, early access to sales and stuff like that. So
okay, gotcha.
Now I'm not one of those lucky people who gets free Olights to test, but I've got enough of them sitting here in this house. I'm not an expert by any means. I don't have all of them, but
yeah.
I have a few. And are they 100% great. No, some of them that have clips, they have a tendency to break. But as far as the
Anything can
lights
break, though.
themselves
Anything can break.
performing, you know,
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. Now, do they make a lot of products? Yeah, they certainly do. Some of them are a little silly, to be honest. But
Yeah, the little pen light that I have is wicked, man. I mean, it's super bright. You know, it's like, what the heck? You know, or they make
how
one that
about
looks like it
the
comes like in a
O-bulbs?
flask.
Do you have any of the
flashlight.
O-bulbs?
Gary, what is that one that comes in like a flask? It's like a light that plugs. Is that the charger for the light so you can take it with you when you're on the road, or what?
That thing you just had on a screen a second ago?
No.
or-
They have like a flask that has a light that goes into it. It looks like a butane lighter or something. I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me change the banner because I don't want people to think Night Strike's actually running for president. So,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Not sure what you're talking about.
okay, I'll show you here in a second. You'll
Sure.
get it when I'm talking about it. All right, you'll get it when I talk about it. Okay, so let's go to the Olight store again. All right, it's this silver thing right here that you see right there on the
Oh,
right side.
that is the Baton 3.
Let's
The
find that.
Baton 3 is available with a traveling charger. And what that is, that's a charging case with a magnetic port on the inside of it. So
Okay, because it looks like a Zippo. Yeah,
you can take your light with you and you can recharge the light over 3 times.
yeah, 3.7. Okay.
Yeah, so I own one of those, and the black one, and I take it back and forth to work with me every day in my backpack, and those are nice because if you just happen to use your light and
Mhm.
you're at work, you know, you don't have your charger with you or anything. Well, you've always got a charger with you in this, so might be great for a road trip or something.
Oh yeah, 3.7 charges. And here's the thing, Gary. You and I live in areas of extreme weather.
Oh yeah,
I've never gone days without electricity, but I've gone 12 hours without electricity. We've had storms hit or winter storms that knock power out. And to have, that kind of light for that amount of time, I think that's not something bad to consider. I think it is definitely something to look into, right?
Yeah, it's a decently powered little light. I own a couple of the lights themselves, but just recently, like a month or two ago, they came out with what they call the premium edition, where they had that charger thing.
Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would definitely spend the extra money and get that because if you're worried about, your battery's probably not going to die if it's got that much of a backup that it sits in. Check it every once in a while, but I've charged mine out at work and everything else. It's just pretty handy for a trip.
Does it have multiple light modes or is it just strictly high and off?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Has
Okay.
different light modes. It has the flashing mode and high, medium, low. And it also has what's called moonlight.
It's just like, yep.
To where if you are out camping or something, you get stranded and you need days and days of energy. You have a real low power light that you could have like
at least see what's in front of you for walking at a minimum. If you got to go through some woods or something, or you got to go through a field.
Yeah.
So it says, standard 20 days max. I don't know if that's just standby maybe or something. Max throw 166 meters and 1,200 lumens. That's a pretty good output. I think my little flashlight I have here only puts out like 400 or something like that, 600 if I'm not mistaken, the one I was showing off earlier.
Now, here's the deal on Olights. Well, just about all of them. Those highest outputs that they show, they are only capable of doing that for a few minutes.
Yeah, that turbo mode, it'll say on the package it's good for like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And then they will kick
down to like a high or a medium to conserve battery power. Also, some of them it's for overheat protection too.
So. They'll step down after 15 minutes to actually reduce the number of lumens. So I'd say the difference between a hardcore duty grade tactical light, say like a Surefire or Streamlight, is they're not going to do that step down. They're going to give you max power as long as they can because of the extreme operating conditions you might be in. Whereas your Olights are going to step down. I know my PL Mini 2 Valkyrie does that after like 15 or 20 minutes. Like you said, for thermal reasons, for temperature reasons, and also for battery life preservation. Also to make sure it doesn't discharge so quickly that it shorts out the battery or blows the battery up. Because these are draining a high amount of current really quick. So, temperatures can be an issue, thermal instability. I don't get too scientific, but it can ruin a battery.
But on that turbo power, they get hot pretty quick unless they've got the bigger ones actually have venting built into them where that's not such an issue. But those things get hot.
Yeah, this acts like a heat sink basically around this part right here.
Yeah.
So So yeah, and again, like I said, I didn't want to make this an Olight only discussion, but they do make a big variety. They're a brand that's pushed heavily in our content creation area, which is the firearms culture, right? And they do have lots of sales. They're very aggressive about the marketing. And I know you guys get tired of seeing Olight commercials, but they give us a limited advertising window for these prices. That's why you see all these channels. And by the way, whoever posts it first is usually not doing it at the recommended time. They're going sooner than what Olight advises us. They tell us exactly what time to post it. Some of these dudes will beat the punch by 2 or 3 hours. And I'm not going to name channels that do it, but it kind of makes me mad. Because smaller channels like me, it's like, well, everybody else already watched it, so there's no point in me publishing it. But I do anyway. So not to be a whiny crybaby, but nobody follows they follow the street date, but not the actual time. Because they'll say, make sure it goes out at 6 o'clock East Coast time. And I'm like, okay, 5 o'clock, and then somebody posted at noon. It's like, thanks, bro. And maybe, who knows, maybe they get that exclusive time because they're the bigger channels. So that's why you see it just over the course of the day. You have a dozen channels that push Olight. But I mean, they do offer something for every budget. But then again, you can get a $20 stream light. You can get a nice, like $30, $40, whatever. I mean, there's different price points that are out there too. So
I will say all the Olights that I own, well, yeah, just about all of them I bought on flash sales because you'll usually save 40%. And those things are expensive if you pay full retail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't get them when they're on sale. After this,
wait till they go on sale.
They probably won't have another sale till around the holidays. You think maybe December after this?
There's Friday. One coming up, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, this one coming up here this week. That's what I'm going to be making videos for at some point.
Right.
I got to get the video ready, but
lately they've been doing them once a month, but I doubt they might keep that up. I don't.
Yeah. We got Gary. You also mentioned Coast G19s. My first experience with Coast was what year was it? Summer of 1995 into 96. I bought a multi-tool that was the Coast brand. So they've been around since like the mid 90s. They make flashlights. And I got a Coast headlamp. You have a Coast G19. I'm surprised because they're not a very popular brand, but they're out there.
Those are great for $7.99 for a little light, and they called that one an inspection beam. And when you shine it on the wall, it's just like a perfectly round, even all the way across beam. And for a computer guy, if you're trying to look back behind somebody's computer and see where the USB ports are, or follow a wire down along a wall or something like that, they're not high power lights that are going to bother people, but it's just the light where you need it.
Here you go, like this, right? So yeah, a lot of these have almost you start to get a square concentrated beam because of the way that the LEDs are arranged in the barrel. But if you have an actual kind of circular pattern, like you said, inspection light, you need a nice even round area to scan a large amount of area at one time. This is almost a different kind of duty light. This is somebody for their job. You got a contractor here. So this is 1,000 plus lumens, but Coast has been around since like I said, I bought the pocket tool back in the mid 90s. I wish I would have kept it, but I ended up giving it to a buddy of mine when I was done working at the plant that I was working at because I was moving on. But it was awesome. Yeah, their headlamps are awesome. I've got one of their tiny headlamps that they make, like this guy right here.
I will say I don't have any Olights that are the longest one I've ever had is less than 2 years old. I've had my Coast 5 or 6 years.
Okay,
and they're pretty rugged. And they last a long time. They just run on a AAA battery. Mine does. And I mean, for the price, I think they're a great value. I bought an expensive one from my gun dealer for like $35 that quit working after 6 months. So, and they are a U.S. company. And they had a booth at the last SHOT Show I went to back in 2020. So they have a lot of products.
So you said the G90 is what you have?
G19.
Oh, G9. Here's the G90. Okay. I don't. Do they still make the G19?
It's a little tiny pen light thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they still make it or not. You say you've had it for about 5 years. They do.
Yeah.
There's a G23. It's like name them after Glocks. The G17, the G43.
Yeah, I wondered that.
You kind of that G is kind of that it's kind of that tactical, anything that's got a G in it or an X, it's just so much more extreme, right? You get that a lot for products. So inspection beam pen light for $12.
Yeah, see that beam down there? That's what it looks like. It really is just a round circle when you project it on the wall.
If you maybe do some woodwork and you need to get into tight areas or you're underneath the sink or something. So So
I mean,
AAA,
I
it's just
wouldn't
a
use
single.
it to. I wouldn't use it to go outside camping or to search for.
No,
somebody.
that's not what it's
But-
for. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
So IPX4 can handle water exposure, not submersion, but it's good enough to be used out in the rain. It can be splashed on. It can be, it's got the rear switch on it. So, hey guys, here's another. I call it maybe. Could we say this is a high quality, budget friendly alternative to Olight?
I
Throw it out
certainly
there.
would say.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, they make a good variety, a good amount of products. Yeah. So you got 2 hours and 30 minutes of runtime. It's just a single light amount. Is that it? It's just a single.
Yeah, it's just on and off.
Okay.
Simple.
20 meters, 66 feet, runtime of 2.5 hours. Now this says IP54 stormproof and dust resistant over the long haul. So there you go. Yeah, I totally forgot about that brand. Yeah, here's their pocket tools. Not that, I mean, this is a flashlight chat, mind you, but still. Okay, so they do knives. And like I said, I bought a multi-tool 25 years ago. I wish I could find it again. I need to go on eBay and see if anybody makes them. Okay, so they do their own pocket tools, which are sold out, of course, but don't know where they're made. I'm going to just probably say China, but again, they are a USA-based company, so you are going to get a decent warranty, and that's important. You want something where if it breaks, they're going to cover it. They're going to hold true to their product.
Now, another good U.S. company that I happen to be a big fan of course, I have been for years, is Maglite. His dad always had a Maglite flashlight, and believe it or not, they still make those big, heavy-duty metal
Big
flashlights that
4 and 6 cell.
that you could whoop somebody with. My
That's
particular
right.
one is a C-cell flashlight. They have modern LEDs in them now, not the old-fashioned bulbs.
Balls.
But
Yeah, the old ones. I thought I was getting a good deal with these $10 ones that I bought. They were okay. They're the ones where you can pull. You can unscrew the cap and it makes a torch, and you could set it flat on a surface and it would light up a room.
Yeah.
So I kind of I have them in every drawer in the house, but eventually they all just got ruined from the batteries leaching. Because
yeah,
I forget after a year, I forget to swap them out. Oh, that one was in that drawer, and it's full of white chalk when you open, or it swells, and the batteries are swollen inside of it. You can't get them out safely, so you just throw it away. So,
Yeah.
X Adam 1, aren't Maglites just batons that have a light in them? They made one, like we talked about this a while ago, like 20 years ago or 30 years ago. They made one that took like 6 Ds.
Yep. I had one.
Like 2.5 feet long.
Yep.
Yeah. It's basically just a baton with a light in it. Yeah, that's basically
That's
it. So
about
they
it.
should
That's
just put
what
a
I
light.
used
They
it
should just put a
for.
light in batons,
But you're not going to lose that one, that's for sure. It's kind of hard to leave laying somewhere.
Yeah, this is true. Ozzy Osbourne says, I ordered a weapon light, laser light, and got a 2-inch keychain light free that I use at work. There you go. Yeah, Olight throws a lot of the free stuff in there. I think they did that with the last sale that they did with the Balder Pro or whatever, the one that I did last time. So
yeah, a lot
just
of
a heads
times
up.
you can get the flashlight for $85, and if you pay an extra $5, then you get a free light thrown in. I mean, for me, why wouldn't you? I mean, you're getting a light for $5 in that case, so why not?
Gary, has Olight ever contacted you to do reviews?
No, and I have actually, they used to have a link on their site where you could sign up to do them. And every time I've tried, I've been turned down. So I know they don't take just everybody.
I have like a contact person that tells me what to put out in terms of like data and when to put it out there, like the prices and the packages and stuff. I could ask that person. I'll say, hey, I've got a buddy that, uses your products. Are you willing to send him something to test? Because you do your reviews on them anyway. So I thought maybe you would I don't know.
I would certainly be willing to do that
because there are small channels smaller than yours that I've seen that have gotten sponsored Olights sent to them. They might only get one, but at least you can do a video on it. Just say, hey, this is one that it's provided to me for me to show you. So yeah.
My channel's too small for that.
You never know, man. You never know. When I was just a couple thousand subs, I had a couple of smaller companies like X Aegis and Fiachi reach out to me and say, hey, you want to try this? We're going after smaller channels, getting them to.
Oh yeah, I have done reviews for X Aegis and Fiachi both.
Yep.
So if you want to get started doing reviews, that's the way to go.
Yeah, and people. I mean, there are people that won't spend a certain amount of money, so it's nice to make videos that cater to their needs too, right? Yep. Tacos and French fries says, "Good morning, listening from work. I don't know about this working for a living." Working for a living. That's right. No, just don't. Just quit working like everybody else, right? There you go. No, Yeah, just let the government take care of you. So,
oh, taxpayers.
Taxpayers,
Not
let
the
the
government.
taxpayers. You're welcome. You're welcome. My
I
30%.
think, yeah, I've got to go to work
My
every day
30%
to
to
help
you. You're
pay
welcome.
everybody else's wages. So.
Here, let's turn this into an old man angry rant, So, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap it up because I've got some range time today that I need to get in, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful time outside today. And, I hope the Nebraska Cornhuskers win the football game today, but if not, the funeral will be in 3 days. So you'll get the invitation.
What?
We'll have a wake this evening. And what's that?
What's the funeral?
We're playing
going?
Oklahoma, one of the Oklahoma teams, and it's just going to be, I don't know. It's
Oh,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk.
was-
This is not a
all
sports chat. People need to understand something in Nebraska.
yeah.
For the people, if football is a big deal because we don't have pro teams, we have a lot to offer as a state, but
Yeah.
there's things we don't have. So going to the game is a family ordeal. It's a tradition. It's what people do. It's how you spend your Saturday. I spend mine at the range, and I do listen to the game, from time to time. But yeah, it's a big deal. So when we lose after 20, when you win state titles, that glory and those feelings of awesomeness, that's there. It's what keeps you going every season. But when you don't have a winning season for years, or it's 20 years of a dry spell, it starts to sting after a while. So anyway, I'm not going to get too upset about that. X Adam 1 says football is a lot because there is nothing else in Nebraska. No, man, we offer nature. You can go camping. We've got awesome state parks. We have wonderful gun ranges. Yeah, we don't have, certain stores and restaurants and stuff like that, but it's a beautiful state. I think you just got to get away from the I-80 corridor and go north or go south and go visit Gary, or go to the northern part of the state is absolutely beautiful. We've actually got a point in the state that's higher than Denver. A lot of people don't realize that. The extreme northwestern corner of Nebraska is over a mile high. So we actually have, Denver brags about being the mile high city. Well, we've got the mile high plus prairie. So there, right? There you go. X Adam 1.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Adam. You need to move to the eastern part of the state. So I know, living in a small town, X Adam 1, I would do things like go to the range and buy cars to occupy my time. I played with a hot rod for a while, and you got to have some hobbies, man. You got to have hobbies. So I like the wide open spaces, but again, I miss not having, like a Whataburger around here, or an In-N-Out burger, or certain stores and stuff. So X Adam 1 says, I've had a hard time finding a range, been going to Lincoln, looking to Grand Island, Adam, and then Lexington has the one that's south, although I've been told it's going to close in January, if I'm not mistaken. So I could be wrong about that. The Rob Jeffrey one's going to be closing, which is very sad if that is in fact true. I know, I wish I could afford to buy some land. I'd start my own, or just have my own place to go shoot. I do have a family member that has an acreage, and we have a board out back that we shoot on. It's been in some of my videos. So I can go shooting there if I want to, which is nice, but I do belong to a shooting range here in town. So Tara Smith says there's a ski resort in the northeastern corner of Nebraska near 385. Yeah, they used to have, I don't know if it's still open in the wintertime or not. We actually had a single downhill ski thing you could go down. Mount Crescent, I think is what it was called. And the wintertime, when we had lots of snow, if we get lots of snow, it's open. And I don't know if they have snowmakers and stuff. But anyway, enough of this. I want to thank you guys for watching today. This has been our Flashlight Chat 2021. We talked about a lot of different brands, a lot of different models. We kind of focused on handhelds and tactical lights. For today, talking about some different things to think about when you buy them, just to educate you as a consumer. Make the best decision you can based on the budget that you have. It's going to say it, the cheaper you go, maybe the not so happy of an experience you're going to have with that flashlight when you buy it. But there are some fairly inexpensive brands that do hold up well. Just, know what your expectations are, and they might just have to be tied in with your budget. So anyway, let's go ahead and let the panel give us their final plugs, and we will call it a day. Gizzard Gary, anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, if you like these morning chats, get up tomorrow. I have the early bird chat that's Sunday mornings. That is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central, and it's an open forum where anybody can get in. Normally, Single Shot entertains me on our Sunday morning chat. We have a good time, so we'd love to have you. So thanks for the invite, man.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Make sure you head on over to Gizzard Gary's channel. Make sure you subscribe. Great conversations on the weekends. Gary, could you say your show is family friendly? Do you guys keep the cursing to a minimum, or is it just kind of an anything goes kind of situation?
As much as possible. Early bird chat, I have very little problems other than the one person who made me take a program down because he put an inappropriate avatar up on the screen.
Oh man!
So
Good
I
God.
had to start filtering my guest a little better, but we've made that work since.
Yeah,
and
we try
it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, no, we try to make sure that, I mean, there's the occasional dams and darns and shits that get dropped on. I try to make the show family friendly. I try to hold myself to that standard. Sometimes emotions come out and people get upset about stuff, or you just get fed up with it and you just got to curse to let that steam out. But we try to keep it family friendly and just have a good time on these shows. We've been doing these shows for years now, and we do enjoy it. So, all right, Single Shot. Anything you want to say before we go?
Well, I appreciate the invite. I always try to join up with you and Gary on your chat this Sunday morning. I always enjoy that as well. So I will be out running on the weekend here. I got to deliver this load Monday, and then I'm taking a couple of days off at the house. Hopefully get a bunch of stuff done there. I've got a bunch of products there that I've got to review as well.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that. One of them I'm working on. I'm having quite the issue with this product, so I don't know if I'm gonna recommend it or not. But the channel is there. If folks want to jump on there and check it out, it's Single Shot, 2 words with an exclamation point right behind the or right after the T. Jump on there, like, share, subscribe with my content. I do a variety of things, a little bit of bullet casting, reloading, a little bit of discussion about this, that, and the other, reviewing products. I'll also have some pretty strong opinions about this, that, and the other. That is usually listed under echoes. So if you don't mind a little bit of harsh language, then that side can be watched as well. But I usually try to keep it.
Life can be harsh, so.
Huh?
Life can be harsh sometimes, though, and sometimes we just need a reality check, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But no, everybody's welcome. I just made 200 subs, which I'm feeling pretty good about.
All right. Cool.
So subscribe if you like my content, and you're always welcome to comment as well. But other than that, I do have some videos on the back burner that I'm going to be doing. Just going to take time. I've been quite busy there this year with the job there driving.
I hear that, dude.
So just wish everybody to be safe this weekend. Have a great weekend. And remember, America moves by truck.
Absolutely. All right. Final comments here before we go and give that shout out. So Gizzard Gary did post the Single Shot link. It's hard to find Single Shot's channel on YouTube because there's so many Single Shot titles that are out there on YouTube. He has to compete against all these other videos that have Single Shot in the title. And so click on that link on the chat to go subscribe to Single Shot's channel. It's really cool, especially if you're into reloading. A lot of great videos on that topic over there too. Let's see. So shout out here. Oh, so X Adam 1 says he had a question. Have you seen the PSA ARV? So X Adam 1, I've got a PSA AKV, and the ARV looks awesome. I think it's cool. I've seen some videos on it. I think maybe Military Arms Channel tested it. The problem is it was pushing like $1,200 a couple months ago when prices were high. So I wasn't interested in it. I'd already dropped $875 on an AKV 2 years ago. So the ARV is cool. I think it's neat. I mean, I love, pistol caliber carbines. I've never seen one. I've never fired one. Their PSA, I've never had problems with PSA products personally. But no, I have never actually tested one on the channel. But I do have an AKV that I've tested that I really like. So X Adam 1 says $850 as of today. And by the way, if you check late at night before you go to bed, like 11:30 or 12, I've seen AKVs pop up for sale. They're very limited. Like they'll make the all black or maybe the OD green with an SBA3 brace on the back. So if you've been looking for an AKV for a long time, just so you know, they're very hard to find. And they show off all these different paint schemes and colors that they've made, all these different camo patterns. I've never actually seen those for sale. I'm sure they were for sale for like 5 minutes at one point. So if you see an AKV that you like, don't get your hopes up because it's probably never going to come for sale. Some of these I have not seen go for sale for like 2 years. And you can even subscribe for an email when that model goes up for sale. And I just got lucky. One evening, my OD green AKV came up for sale, and and I managed to get to a computer within 5 minutes to order it before it sold out. And it's been great. I love it, but 35 round mags of 9mm go pretty quick. That's kind of expensive these days. So Defense Dad says, yo, guys, make sure you check out Defense Dad's channel. He's got a great channel over there too. Lots of cool reviews. Does a great budget versus beauty series where he compares me to him, where I'm the beauty and he's the budget. Just kidding. SWVA, Southwestern Virginia Marksman, says, subscribe to Single Shot. Thanks for posting the link. There you go. Thank you, Gary, for doing that.
Thank you, sir.
Tara Smith says, I just got back from Michigan, delivered butanol back home. Houston, sick, waiting on a COVID test. Tara, you hang in there. You be strong. You take care of yourself, right? Just do what you got to do to stay healthy. If you don't feel good, just get yourself taken care of, right? X Adam 1 says, it looks like an AR-9 and MP5 had a baby. Yeah, the ARV. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's a neat looking gun. It is. All right, so let's give a final shout out to all the people that joined us today, and hopefully we helped you with a little bit of making a decision on a flashlight. And like I said, you do you buy whatever brand you want with a budget that works for you. Just have something that's going to work and have something that's going to help you and your family stay safe. So joining us today, we had Gizzard Gary, Defense Dad, Southwestern Virginia Marksman, X Adam 1, Tara Smith out there today too, AWAG 1000, Young Gun 995, Tacos and French Fries, Ozzy Orsborn in the house. Let's see who else is out there. Kevin June is with us today. Netflutter watching also. G23, Battle Chris, Razor JB, Guns and Barbecue. Ron 2A Matters is with us also. Again, a lot of the usual suspects. Storm and Norman Gunworks out there too, joining in. Thanks for watching, Norman. I appreciate it. Snake Doctor 78, Clover Tack out there listening. Kevin in New York. Guys, check out all these channels. They have great content, lots of good stuff. Ghost Tactical joining us today. The Ghost with the Most. Check out Ghost Tactical's channel. He's got a lot of good stuff out there. Tim Foley, John Lowell, Luke B, Kingpin, the first one to check in with a yo, and of course, M. Gabriel saying good morning. All right, so this is Travis P11. This has been Caliber Corner Season 4, episode number 204, something like that. Hopefully, we'll be able to join you next Saturday. Don't know what the topic's going to be, but I'll post it later on this week. So in the meantime, I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.